My point, my point, my point, oh yeah, my point, my point, my point, my point, oh yeah, my point. This is my point, my point. Hey.
Hello, and welcome back to My Point. We have missed you so much. My name is Jack Harmon, and happy October, everybody. What are we all most excited for this month? Why don't we start off with G?
With me. I just want to say that was the best opening that we've ever had on the show. And thank you for that. That was so good.
Do I have to do it again now?
No. No, we don't have to redo it. It was perfectly fine. I loved it. All right. But what I'm very excited for about October is the fact that the weather is changing. Like, it was starting to feel good in September. I'm not gonna lie. Like, it was feeling good. I guess it got hot a couple of days here and there, but it's gonna start to feel better now because we're entering my territory, okay, of fall. And then after fall is gonna be winter, and that's what I'm excited for. It's sweater weather, not sweater weather. It's sweater weather. So I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm into that too. I like the sweater weather. And the transitioning of being super duper hot to a nice chilly kind of vibe. Mm-hmm. Also, Halloween this year is probably going to be very interesting. I don't know how that's going to play out or if it's even going to play out. But time is just going by really, really, really fast for me. So October is going to be over like that, just like September is.
You're right.
Or was.
When September ends.
Yeah. Dude, I know what I'm excited for. You know, my birthday's coming up October 10th. You know, I got the cash up, I got the Venmo. Send me that money. But you know, the weather is nice. Football's back. NBA Finals going to be there. You know, and you know, Old Navy's about to have some good sales on sweaters and stuff like that.
Ooh.
Can't beat it. Can't beat it.
Now I ain't been to Old Navy in some time now. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm gonna have to hit it up.
Yo, they got the best.
We still have a new one in Williamsburg.
Where? Don't tell me in the outlets.
No.
Oh,
they're
right.
closer to my house.
Oh.
I am most excited for also cold. I'm not a hot. I would much rather wear more layers than sweat out my one layer. You know what I'm saying? It's just gross.
Like, you can't take off your skin. I mean, once you get to it, you can't do that.
You're darn right. I already don't wear socks most of the time in the summer because it's too damn hot.
I feel that. Y'all, I'm gonna give myself away real bad. As some of y'all know, I'm a video gamer. I love me some video games, and but also I love me some Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah, same.
I don't know if any of our watchers like to play some D&D. Hit up the tabletop RPG. However, yesterday, September 30th, a new game came out, or at least it came out on early access. It's Baldur's Gate 3. It's a Dungeons and Dragons game, and I'm so excited to get into it, but I was just so nervous to like open that up to you guys.
We love it. We love it.
I'm such a nerd. I love nerd stuff.
We're here to support.
Viewers at home, see this? You're just so open and like we're so.
Oh, nerd. No, we love it. We love it. It's always cool, man. That's what's up. That's always dope.
Did everyone share?
Yep.
Okay, then let's move into our next segment. Everyone get ready for What's Good.
Ooh, the dance move.
What's good?
What's good? What's new? What's good? What's new? What's good? What's new? When you're bored at the house and tired of trying to make a dollar, gather some friends and in the end make a winner. What's new? What's good? What's new? What's good? What's new? What's good? What's new?
So, Harrison, tell me what is good.
All right. So let's start off strong this evening. So I've got a pretty I've got a pretty loaded question for you guys. All seriousness.
Yes.
So, what do you guys think? For couples, Do you guys think that couples should maintain the same religious and moral beliefs, or not? Do you think that it's possible to maintain a relationship without the same beliefs and moral alignments, so to speak?
Yeah, I'll go first. I definitely think there should be some similarities. I don't think it doesn't have to be like completely there. I know with religion and stuff like that, with me in the past, I haven't always been the most religious. I've dated girls who are like really religious, like really, really religious, and I feel like we've been fine. There's certain moments where our morals and our things like that didn't align. Like I was drinking and I was doing all these other things, and she wasn't too happy about that. But I think that's something that can be worked on. I think y'all care enough about each other and the bond's strong enough, you're able to work. Opposites attract. But yeah, that's how I feel.
Yeah, I'm a firm believer that if it's meant to work out, it'll work out. I think about that for most every situation in life. I think with me, with religion and relationships, it's a little different because for those who don't know, my dad is a pastor. My dad's a Lutheran pastor. And obviously it's a big part of me and who I am that hasn't, it's not something that I'm like, oh, I got to tell these people first date. Like, look, my dad's a pastor and he's good at what he does. And that's not changing anytime soon. Like, I love Jesus. Because I think that other things I think religion's a hard thing to just start off your first date combo with. You sit down at Olive Garden, like, by the way, do you love Jesus? It does play a part, I think. If it's a big part of your life, it turns into having to be a big part of relationships because that's going to determine the future of your life. And if you want this person to be in it, you got to find a way to make that work to see if it's really meant to be, I think.
Right. And as we're on the subject of you being a preacher's kid, essentially, have you heard any of the stereotypes around or based around preacher's kids?
Yes, and I will, but maybe not in the sense that you would think, because most people when they meet me, because I don't just come off the bat and say that I'm a pastor's kid. Most of the time, people are like, wait, really? You are? I'm trying to, as much as it is a part of me and who I am, I think I'm also more than that. I'm more than my father's title, if that makes sense.
Yeah, because I knew that about you, but I texted you yesterday talking about mine and Bailey's wedding, and you were like, my dad's done so many weddings at this place.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, your dad does weddings? Not even thinking about the fact that your dad's a preacher. So I don't identify you to that.
Sure, and he's more than his title too. He is one of the greatest, funnest. He take me elevated by like 100%. That's my dad. He's one of the greatest people you ever meet in your life, and he does a really good job of balancing who he is and his occupation. So I think it plays the same thing with religion. If it's part of who you are, the person you love is gonna have to accept that. In my opinion, that's what I think.
Well said, Jack. I think that's very relevant with what you said. I think there's a lot of gray area with this question. Like, say the two people in the relationship are of the same faith and they're really devout of the same faith. It could work out very, very well. It could be such a beautiful thing, but also it doesn't necessarily need to be a requirement. Like, if both people are open-minded enough to be respectful of each other's beliefs, then it could work like that. And there could be a beautiful merge between that, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's like I've dated people who were of the same faith, the same religion, and we've butted heads over what is right and wrong. So you could even be in the same boat and still, like, issues could arise from that.
Yeah, I've also been in similar situations of same religion, and then it's like, well, who knows more? You know what I mean? And like, to me, it ain't no race, ain't no game. You know what I mean?
Or how to even interpret it.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what I think a lot of people misunderstand is that you're reading it, I'm reading it, we're trying to understand it. Yes. Just like in school, you might do something different to get to like this answer, and I will do the same thing. Like straight out the bat, y'all, I'm gonna ask y'all a question. What do y'all if you add 28 like plus 32, what do you do first in your mind?
I get a calculator. I put the number.
Add the 2 and the 28 and the 8 and the 2 together, I guess.
Yeah.
Together.
To
All
get-
right.
Or I don't know. You know, if I'm doing it on paper, yeah, 8 and 2 to get the 0, and then I'm not that best at math, but then the 2 and the 3.
Yeah, I get that.
60.
And see, and what I would probably do is I'll round the 28 to 30 and the 32 to 30, get 60, and then like subtract or add something else to get the same thing. But like my whole point of that is people can do different things to get to the same overall goal. You know what I mean?
Definitely. Well said, too.
Yeah. Thank you. I can't take all the credit for that. That was definitely a meme that I saw. Like just like the math thing. Like, what's the first thing that you think? But okay, thank you. I will take some credit because I did make it a lesson. I did make that a lesson. Yeah. But speaking of, I guess, what is it, beliefs and whatnot. Let me open up to you guys some more. I used to talk to this one girl. I'm not gonna name the year, but sometime in college, you know what I'm saying? And it was my first time talking to someone of another religion. Now I've talked to people in the past that just didn't think about a religion or didn't care about one, but this was my first time actually dating someone with a whole nother religion than I did. And it created some conflict here and there just because I'm like, when you're starting to think about the future, it's like, all right, so how are we gonna do this? But speaking of people of the past, let's talk about exes, shall we? Yeah. Let's talk about exes. So when I say that, I'm not asking you to be like, give me all the details, like what happened was, why did it happen this way? But like, what are some things that you learned about yourself from like past relationships or because everything is a learning lesson, even the relationships that you're in now, like it's a lesson, like you're learning something. And it's just, who wants to go first?
I'll go.
Mhm.
I've learned in some of my past relationships that I'm not always being myself, and you can't not be yourself in a relationship. You have to be your authentic, genuine self, because who is that other person loving? It's got to be you. And so it's been a long journey to figure out who I am. And I don't really identify as straight at all. And I was dating girls most of my life, if not all my life. So it was just definitely a learning curve. And being on the LGBTQ spectrum wasn't like I've known for forever. Like it was a definitely coming to my own self kind of story for me. And so it was a long process with even all my exes, just learning like, okay, maybe this isn't right. This doesn't work. I shouldn't be with this person. And it was just a long journey. But I'll pass that stick on to someone else.
I'll take the stick. I don't mean to backtrack, but kind of going back to like the whole religious thing. I had an ex who, we both were Christians, but she told me that I wasn't a very good Christian while we were in the relationship. And I'm not going to say names. I'm not going to do that. But that kind of made me think about how like, you don't, or I used to put my value in who I was with, and it's not that. It's like if you're going to be in a relationship, you have to know that you're enough for yourself. You're not the sum of who you're with or who you're dating or even who you're having sex with. That's not you, but you're giving yourself to this person and the other person is giving themselves to you. Rather, you're becoming two parts of a whole, but you're also your own whole, if that makes sense.
I I completely agree with y'all. Justin Bieber said it best. You gotta love yourself. And the thing is, like, if you can't, I mean, one's gonna be unsuccessful or relationship. I mean, I think for me personally, like, I've learned a lot from my previous relationships. And then I just learned the type of person I want to be, and I just realized I don't know, I had to learn that I can't please everyone.
Mm.
And then I kind of became kind of a jerk. I would say because in the beginning, I was too nice. I was a pushover. I got taken advantage of. I got cheated on, and I was what the kids like to call a simp. I gave everything, but
explain what that is. I'm trying to find like the right definition.
Well, a simp is, I mean, it's hard to say. So I think a simp for me, what I like equate it to, I would say it's someone. I mean, what the real thing, it's like, okay, it's someone who like puts someone on a pedestal, like too high, and puts them above their needs, where it's like, I don't know, it's kind of weird. It's kind of weird explaining it, because I mean, the real thing is, it's like someone who, it's like infatuated with yeah, but
okay,
yeah, that's what it really is. But I mean, it's someone who's like, it's like someone who idolizes someone, basically. I would say that's what it is.
So
and you're willing to put their needs.
Whipped.
Yeah, it's not. Well, I would say it's more whipped than anything else, because you could still care for someone and still do certain things for someone. Like, I don't like, if you want to take your girl on a nice dinner and pay for her stuff and buy her something nice, I don't count that as being a simp. I think it's more or less when there's no trade-off in the relationship, and you do this, and this, and the person's like taking advantage of it. They don't care. Like, that's what I count it as.
Or maybe when there's no relationship in general too, when you're just doing it with somebody that's
you do for another girl. Yeah, and because I did that for, like, I was like, in the beginning, I was like that person. I remember on my birthday one time, I bought a girl something. She was like, "Happy birthday!" But it was like that. Yeah, I was a punk when I was like 18, like fresh out of high school. I was a chubby punk, and then but I had to learn that's not how it's supposed to be in a relationship. I had to learn, like, it's two ways. It has to be 50-50, like Harrison was saying. But I definitely learned I'd say that's the biggest takeaway. Like, you have to love yourself, and it's not always it doesn't always have to be on your shoulders. You don't have to always try to make things work.
Mm-hmm.
I will say real quick before I think we had to wrap this section up, that every relationship I've been in, even if they weren't the greatest of endings necessarily, I learned more and grew more from each one of them than I ever thought I could. And I guess that kind of plays back to you will be where you need to be at the time. I kind of said that earlier, but I do firmly believe that. So even if the relationships don't end up being as great or as maybe lengthy or happy as maybe you thought they would be initially, you should still be looking for those lessons that you can get out of them.
Exactly, I agree.
But yeah, stay tuned. We're gonna take a short little commercial break. See you in a little bit.
Okay.
I wish I said something.
Yeah, I feel like
The most nasty,
Dark and evil.
disgraceful,
Dirty.
detrimental,
Drugged up. Genius.
super smart,
It looks like they'd be on crack.
influenced by LSD.
It's just a train wreck.
How like detrimental it is to your brain. The high is just so intense.
It does not sound healthy.
That seems crazy.
I don't know. I really don't know what's going on.
How did I win this game? Whew! Hi, I'm Drew, the guy from those clips you just saw. And if you enjoyed that, you can catch much, much more on my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/the8bitcasual. Follow me on Twitter at twitter.com/the8bitcasual1. I can't wait to see you there. Come hang out. We'll have some fun. Stay safe, stay friendly, and as always, keep it casual.
What is art? Philosophers, musicians, scientists, and even the common person have studied its implications on society and the human condition for centuries. Each person has their own definition of what art is, what it means, and how it's created. My view is simple. Art is a way to snapshot a piece of the landscape that is humanity and make it interesting. Photography, for me, captures that perfectly. It is a visceral projection of my feelings about the world, about life, and about human connection. My name is Alex Burris. I'm a freelance photographer. I've shot weddings, editorial style shoots, and conceptual portraits. I have lived in the Richmond, Virginia area for most of my life, but I feel that my work has the ability to connect with people no matter where they end up. Let's make art together.
Okay, everybody, we are back. Let's move into a controversial topic on lying. Do you guys ever lie? And when do you lie? And do you think it's okay to lie ever?
I think that if anybody here says that they don't lie, that is a lie.
Yeah.
I don't know about you. I'm like,
That was right.
I mean,
Yeah.
what's the definition that we're using? Like white lies? Like
Oh.
what?
I'll start off by saying, look, I do not like lying, even white lies. I hate it. I hate it. Because growing up, my parents told me white lies all the time. And I mean, to them, there's nothing wrong with that. And I mean, I guess I see nothing wrong with that too. But like, why lie about something when you can explain it, even to a child? Like, oh, this is why we can't go to the store because it's closed. It's not closed. It's just, we can't do that right now. And I mean, maybe kids can't grasp things sometimes. But when I have children, I want to be completely transparent with them and I want to tell them everything. So they'll be well-spoken, understanding people growing up. I very rarely, very, very, very circumstantially rarely lie. Like, I don't say white lies ever. I even sometimes overtell the truth. I had like a little problem like the past month or two where I would say things and then I go back on saying like, oh wait, I didn't mean that. But that was something my own thing, and I've overcome that, and that might not even make sense to the viewers. But I will say, like, the only times I do really lie is if I'm doing something bad, and I'll say it to my parents. Even at that rate, I don't lie to my parents anymore, but I used to always lie to them. Like, I always say, like, oh yeah, I'm hanging out with this person when I'm actually doing this bad action, or if I'm over here, I would just, every word that would come out of my mouth was a lie to my parents. And so I feel like I have grown from that myself, where I don't need to lie to them anymore and I can just tell them nothing but the truth. And that was like a hurdle for me to overcome because lying was such a normal thing in my life.
See, me personally, I think, kind of go back to what you said, like with the little white lies, I think sometimes I don't want to say they're necessary. I think it definitely helps. Like, even, if you're a kid, say if like, your kids, like, say if your kids are like, yo, like, why can't I have this? Like, my friend has these things, but I can't, like, I don't understand. Sometimes I feel like you don't want to tell them the whole truth because you want to ruin their innocence.
Yeah.
To a certain extent, of course. Like, if you could tell them, if they're like older, I mean, you should tell them. I think there's certain things that should be hidden. Even with like relationships and stuff like that, kind of going back to relationships, I think, when it comes to even those simple things like, hey, like, do I look good today? Sometimes your girl just needs that boost, even though sometimes you're just like, your guy or girl, sometimes if you're like, you're not feeling it, but sometimes they need to be told, just to make them feel better. I think little things like that, like, I think it depends. I think on big things, you definitely should tell the truth. But I think sometimes there's also there's that space where if some things are better left said or unsaid, because I feel like a lot of times why people tell the truth is because they want to get something off their chest to get that burden off of them. I think sometimes you have to man up or woman up and you just got to hold that burden. Sometimes you guys lie sometimes.
Yeah. And
like, that's just how I feel about it. I know it's not popular, but it's like,
I hear you.
That's just how I feel sometimes about it.
Like, it's the truth. That's the truth.
No, well, yeah, but still.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say it's unfortunate that I feel like society has made it feel like it's okay to lie when you need to, and like you see it in movies and shows and all the time. You just see it, but I'm also a firm believer in not just blaming society for your own wrongdoing. So I'll be the first to admit that I have lied in the past, and I don't. I'm not proud of that necessarily, and I'm not happy that I do it. Still, it's one of those things I think you have to actively work on, and it's hard to, because especially now, because all we're doing is sit in our homes. So it's like, because so much of that experience you get when you're in interpersonal relationships and you're out with friends, and they're like, and like you were saying, the white lies. It's like, hey, you want to drink? Oh, no, I got church tomorrow. Even if you're not going to damn church tomorrow, you're gonna say that little thing to try and get out of something, So it's a little easier now too, when you don't have to be constantly in those interpersonal relationships and situations. But unfortunately, it's a part of society I definitely have.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I didn't want to cut you off. You want to say something?
Yeah, I'll say something real quick. I totally agree. I think it's totally situational because on the one hand, lying could potentially save your life, but on the other hand, lying could totally screw you over, because it's like you could be like getting robbed or whatever in your home, and you could be like, yeah, man, my safe is like in this other room, and then you get the chance to freaking bolt. But then on the other hand, you could be like some teenager going off to like hang out with your friend, and you can tell your parents, oh, I'm just going to hang out with a friend, but you don't tell them, oh, I'm going to hang out with my friend in his beach house in Florida when I live in Maine. And then it's like you get in a car wreck in freaking Georgia, and then you have to call your parents and be like, yeah, I'm in Georgia.
Wait, this sounds so specific, Harrison.
I was gonna say, yeah.
Let's move away from that. All right. So, I think, all right, I'm not gonna lie to y'all, because but honestly, I hate lying. I am so bad at lying. Anybody that I've lied to, they can tell you that I mean, because they eventually find out, especially like in school and something. Like if I try to cheat, oh my God, you gonna know. It is so, and it should be better as an actor, right? But I can, if it's in the script, I can do it.
And acting is telling your truth. It's not lying.
And if you're truth that you're a liar, that's the truth. But okay, sorry, we don't want to get too deep. But I'm not a good liar at all. Have I lied? Yes. Do I lie? Yes, here and there. But I think about like the last time that I really, really had to lie was like my senior year of college. And Jack, I know you better stop lying, because you was lying all throughout your senior year. When you're in a secret organization, you have to lie.
That was a situational situation in which it was called.
Well, call it out. Call it out for what it is.
I'm sorry, Longwood campus. I lied about being in a secret society for however long I was in it.
Yeah, but in turn, like, you had to lie to like potential people that you were dating at the time, different teachers, and I felt so bad. And like, I'd rather lie through email or text, because if it's in person, I get that stupid like, then like I have to run away somewhere. I'm like, God, I know they know I lied to them, and I just feel so bad. But all in all, I have lied as of lately as of recent. Nothing bad though, but it's like those little white lies, and like you catch yourself, and it's like, God, stop that, because like I said for the 15th time now, I don't like to lie. So
can I say really quick before we throw it to Isaiah for his segment that, I remember the first time you lied to me. It was after a high street rehearsal, and I was like, hey, you want to, grab some dinner or something real quick after this? We can get Harrison to come too. It'll be a fun thing. And you were like, I have a lot of homework. And I was like,
you didn't do homework.
Did you just lie to my face? And you were like, yes, I'm sorry. I already have plans. And I'm like, don't you lie to me. I know when I'm lying. I knew it, and I called you out on it, and I don't think you have since. Now we just tell each other the truth no matter how crappy it is, because we just know.
At least you know why I was lying.
Yeah,
though.
that's true.
And that's respectable though, and that's real, you know? You'll
Yeah.
always tell your friend the truth, you know?
Yes.
Or people that are not your friends. You should also tell them.
Yes. Well,
Situational.
Situational. So speaking of situational, this has no connection at all, but it's time to get ready for a new segment we like to call These Darn Kids.
Please, darn kids.
Those darn kids. Those darn kids. Those darn kids. Those darn kids. Those darn kids.
All right, guys. So I gotta talk to you about something. You know, I'm the residential old man here. I'm turning 26 like next week, so I'm getting old. You know, I see these daggone darn kids on the TikToks and the social medias doing crazy stuff. You know, I saw this one challenge, and I was like, yo, there's no way this is real. Like, there's no way this could be legit. It's called the Benadryl challenge. Yo, these darn kids, yo, these kids, so what they do, they see how much Benadryl they could take until they hallucinate, and then they record it and post it. And the thing is, these people are posting it on social media and they think it's a joke. There was a girl who died like a couple of weeks ago. A little 14-year-old girl, she died from doing this because she overdosed on Benadryl.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and it's like, you know, I'm always down for the trends, you know, the little, you know, the dances and the, you know, all that stuff. But when it comes to stupid stuff like that, like this is like, I mean, it's not nearly as bad as like the Tide Pod challenge and things like that.
Oh.
But it's crazy. You know, that's my segment of these darn kids. That's all I gotta say.
Well,
I hate kids. Freaking
really quick though, like they're putting this on the TikTok.
Say again?
I said they're putting this on TikTok.
Yeah, kids are like recording it. They were putting this stuff online. I didn't hear about it until I was like on Google one day and I saw it, like it popped up on my feed talking about like kids are doing like the Benadryl challenge and things like that. But
another trend that recently emerged was it's a tragic incident. There was a suicide live streamed on Facebook and people were posting their reactions to TikTok of the video and showing like little kids the video.
And how stupid, I'm sorry, how ridiculous is that? The idea that we are, see, this is why sometimes, you know, I don't understand. I feel like I'm pretty hip with a lot of things. I said hip, but I feel like I just don't understand how the younger generation's how their minds work. Like, in what world is it okay to post some stupid stuff like that? You know?
And can I say, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Because I'm agreeing with you, and I think it goes so far beyond. We're just in this realm and age where people are like, let's just see how many likes we can get. There's such a emphasis on being seen that it's like this stuff is happening, and it's unbelievable. Like, I didn't even know that this was a thing, but it's unbelievable that is now what we're like. I agree with you. I'm good with TikTok dances and friggin' singing on TikTok. I like G's cooking things on TikTok. Shout out, check that out. But it's like when it comes to a point where you're hurting yourself, I don't even. And it's because of the older generations that are pushing on, like, look, you got to be seen and you got to be heard. This is why. It's like, it's so annoying.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I just feel like I'm not a parent, and I'm not going to claim to know anything about being a parent. But I feel like if I was a parent, if I was a parent, then I would
someday soon.
What?
Ooh.
I said someday soon. This is me asking to be a godfather. I'm sorry.
Anyway, I'd be monitoring these things. I wouldn't be like I know that kids, like, they get upset when their parents are like monitoring their Facebook all the time. But I mean, this stuff is dangerous. It's dangerous. And if you're not watching, especially now, you can lose control of your child so
100%.
Yeah.
And I think there's like, and of course there's like a certain borderline. Like, of course you should trust your kids, but you gotta. I don't know. I guess because I'm older now. Because when I was younger, I've been like, no, don't look at my stuff. But like, I think you have to, like you're saying, you have to watch out because anything can happen. You know, it's a crazy world we live in.
But think about it. Back then, what stuff did we have? We had a football, a couple rocks.
Yeah.
But like,
It's different times. Yeah, the internet's taking over. You know.
yeah.
I didn't have a phone until like 6th grade because I was going to get home before everyone else was home. And it was a little slide phone. And my mom's a 2nd grade teacher. She's got kids with iPhone 7s. I'm like,
no, it's ridiculous.
I cannot believe where we're at in society right now.
Yeah, I had dial-up internet until I was like 14.
Dial-up. Oh, jeez, man.
I lived in the boonies.
I might be the youngest one here. So I was honestly raised on the internet and TV, like bad TV. Like, had my parents not let me watch Family Guy when I was 3 or 4 or 5 with my uncle, like, I don't think I would have been the potty mouth I was growing up or know nearly half the things I knew growing up. And like, I have a little brother who's 5 and he's on YouTube 70 to 90% of his day, 50 to 90%. Either way, there's a lot of stuff there that, you know, there's Mario content and this content and that content. And some people who are older make bad content in relation to the things he likes with like little video games and little TV shows. And it's just, you know, a 5-year-old shouldn't be learning about swear words and like adult things. In my opinion, he's too young for that, you know?
Yeah, it's so easy to shove the iPad in the kid's face.
Yeah.
Like, here, take this.
Yeah.
Babysitter.
But also, like, really quick, back in the day, instead of the Benadryl challenge, it's so stupid. We had the cinnamon?
Yes.
Cinnamon
Oh,
challenge?
yeah, exactly. Yeah, but kids were dying from that too.
Yeah, I remember. Okay, I was stupid.
It wasn't that bad.
Yeah, but I did not want to try it. I felt like one of my friends made me try it, Michael, and I did not want to try it. But it's all right. It was fun, and we almost died. We're good.
Oh my goodness. I don't know how much time we have left, but another challenge that was pretty recent. I'm on TikTok as well, but I never saw this on TikTok.
Shout you out. What's your name on TikTok?
Loki the G, LOKEYTHEG. But I think it was, I don't know what spice it was. It might have been ginger. I'm pretty sure it's ginger. But you just eat as much ginger as you can. And this one kid started hallucinating, couldn't pee for 3 days. It was bad. He went to the ER, could not salivate, just didn't know where he was.
These darn kids are stupid. That's the moral of today. Kids are stupid.
These darn kids.
Those darn kids. Those darn kids. Those darn kids.
Okay. My point. Oh, yeah. My point. Oh! How did I win this game? Whew!
Hi, I'm Drew, the guy from those clips you just saw. And if you enjoyed that, you can catch much, much more on my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/the8bitcasual. Follow me on Twitter at twitter.com/the8bitcasual1. I can't wait to see you there. Come hang out. We'll have some fun. Stay safe, stay friendly, and as always, keep it casual.
The most nasty,
Dark and evil.
disgraceful,
Dirty.
detrimental,
Drugged up. Genius.
super smart,
It looks like they'd be on crack.
influenced by LSD.
It's just a train wreck.
How like detrimental it is to your brain. The high is just so intense.
It does not sound healthy.
That seems crazy.
I don't know. I really don't know what's going on.
What is art? Philosophers, musicians, scientists, and even the common person have studied its implications on society and the human condition for centuries. Each person has their own definition of what art is, what it means, and how it's created. My view is simple. Art is a way to snapshot a piece of the landscape that is humanity and make it interesting. Photography, for me, captures that perfectly. It is a visceral projection of my feelings about the world, about life, and about human connection. My name is Alex Burris. I'm a freelance photographer. I've shot weddings, editorial style shoots, and conceptual portraits. I have lived in the Richmond, Virginia area for most of my life, but I feel that my work has the ability to connect with people no matter where they end up. Let's make art together.
Okay.
Anyways, I feel like this was a great episode, everyone. I'm really proud of us. I'm proud of the things we talked about and shared. That is it for my point this week. Be sure to tune in with us every Thursday. Next week is our season finale at October 8th at 6 p.m. right here where you know where we are. We'll see you then.
Woo. Good.